Hey, it's D, and right now I'm going to share with you the 5 best tips for lowering and controlling your blood sugar while eating out, so let's get right to it. Hey, it's D, and right now I absolutely want to let you know that I'm super stoked to share this with you because this played a huge role in what, and really kind of like help transform me to like being morbidly obese to really like being able to control my blood sugar with very little work. Okay, so step number 1, if you really want to know like some of the best ways to lower and control your blood sugar while you're eating out, thing number 1 is to actually play the swap game. Okay, and here's what I mean. This really kind of like dawned on me when I really just I did like vegan, keto, I did paleo, zero carb, and at the end of the day I really wanted to be myself, and at the same time, instead of doing some weird hokey dieting thing, I wanted to be able to, not only like just control my blood sugar, but be able to control my blood sugar in like everyday situations, okay? And so at the time, I was eating a lot of like drive-through takeout burgers, a hole-in-the-wall Mexican place, and like even Chinese food, okay? So here's what I mean by playing the swap game. Okay, the beautiful thing is that we can literally like look at a food, break it down, and then just start swapping out ingredients. Okay, so perfect example. When I absolutely love burgers. Okay, I love hamburgers, love cheeseburgers, whatever. And at the end of the day, when there was a fat burger right here, we would go there all the time, and I'd be like, man, like I can't have this because I can't have the bun, and I can't have like obviously the ketchup because there's a bunch of sugar in there. And I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? Okay, and literally here's what I mean. Play the swap game. Okay, so here's what I mean. I literally look at it and I break it down, so I can't have the bun and I can't have the ketchup, but what can I swap in its place? Okay, the beautiful thing about that is most restaurants will have just a whole list of all the different condiments, right? So let's say we're at Fatburger, right? So give me another patty, give me some more cheese, give me some full fat ranch dressing, give me some blue cheese grumbles, give me some sauteed mushrooms, give me some bacon, give me an egg, right? It's Fatburger, right? Give me some guacamole, give me some of the, give me another one of the sauces, like one of the mustards, give me one of the deli meats, like what am I at, like 10, right? I got rid of 2 and I got 10 in its place. Like the truth of the matter is like, look, I still love, even though like I'm 100 pounds down or whatever, let me be honest with you in that I absolutely still love to stuff my face like I'm at the county fair. Okay, so by having a burger and throwing all that stuff on there, look, like I can eat like that all the time. Okay, like I will stuff my face and not a big deal. My blood sugar barely even flinches. Okay, so that's thing number 1. And tip number 2 is going to be go custom. Okay, like tell them what you want and go custom. Here's what I mean. Okay, so this didn't really all dawn on for me, and just to let you know, like my wife or my daughter and I were hanging out, we're like having quality time, and she painted my nails. It's kind of coming off or whatever. It looks super janky. So if you're wondering why I have like different colored nails, that's why. Okay, well anyways, here's what I mean. Okay, so when I say tell them what you want and go custom, this all kind of dawned on me when I wanted Chinese food, okay? And we're at the Chinese place, and I roll up to this Chinese place that we've been going to for years, and they have like the whole like row or whatever, right? And normally I get like, like a 3 item or a 2 item or whatever. And I'm looking down, I'm like, dude, I can't have that, right? So I'm looking up at the thing, and I'm like, oh man, like what do I have? What do I have? And I get there, I get to the front of the line, and Lydia's like, dude, like what do you want? And like there's this huge line behind me, right? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, what can you have? And I'm like, let me just tell you what I can have. I can have like beef, chicken. I can have like fish. I can have like veggies or whatever. And next thing you know, because I just told her, I was like, hey, look, I'm a type 2 diabetic, right? Like I can't have all the starch. I can't have the fillers. I can't have like the sugar and all that other stuff. I just can't have it. And so next thing you know, the owner gets involved and starts cooking me all these one-off dishes, right? The best part about it is that like it was 100% fresh. It was made just for me. Okay, it wasn't held together with all this wallpaper paste, and it definitely wasn't under like a heat lamp for only Lord knows like how long, right? And here's the best part about it, okay? Like sure, it may have costed like $1, $2, maybe $3 or $3.50 more, but what was I getting in return? Not only all that stuff, in fact, that ended up being one of my biggest blood sugar and even weight loss hacks, because here's why. At the time, I really started doing this or noticing this when I was doing keto and I was tracking all my food in an app, right? And the next thing you know, when I actually looked at like eliminating those, those noodles, right? Which is basically just like a lot of like oil and like, flour and like sugar with more like oil and like salt on top of it, right? By the time I pulled out, okay, one of these little measuring cups, okay, this is 3/4 of a cup, right? And you look at it in an app, okay? And look, I don't know about you, but I go to one of these, like Chinese food places where they have like competitions on who can stack more food in that little thing, all the way to the point where sometimes they have to like tape it shut just to like stay closed, right? By the time I took out a measuring cup like this and like looked at an app, I was saving anywhere from like 750 to like 1,500 calories in a single meal, okay? To put things in perspective, like I normally have to run like 6 to like 7 miles to burn like 1,500 calories, and here I was paying this guy a couple extra bucks, and not only did I get fresh food, I didn't have to run those 7 miles, okay? Now, obviously, running 7 miles is awesome, but I didn't have to do all that work, okay? Just like that, okay? Now, tip number 3, and obviously, if you want, more on this, I did create, for you a free 21-day blood sugar challenge, because that little trick right there played a huge role in how I was able to lose my first 75 pounds without any drugs, exercise, or any hardcore dieting. I want to give it to you for free. You can obviously click on the link below. I'll put it in the description. At the same time, if you want, you go to lifeovertype2.com/21days. Again, that's lifeovertype2.com/21days. And in it, I give you everything from like tips, tricks, strategies every single day for the next 20 days. I literally share with you 100% for free. Okay, like no judgments, no nothing. This is more than anything. This is really just support and love, and really more than anything, me doing my part to help save as many lives and help save as many families that deal and struggle with the same medical condition that I have, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, it doesn't have to necessarily be all that hard, which is why I'm sharing you this information with you now, okay? So anyways, okay, now tip number 3 is going to be the pregame, okay? The pregame. Here's what I mean by the pregame. So if you're anything like me, whether you may have had some like college years, or maybe even like before you got married, or even like after you got married, or whatever, right? There may have been a time where you may have like gone out and you had like a pregame, right? This is basically the same thing. So one of my favorite things to do is to, go ahead, like if I'm going to a restaurant and I don't know what there is, if I don't know what they're going to have on the menu, or I don't know what I'm going to be up against, okay, I take a pregame, okay? Now, I am 100% drug free, so for you that might be taking your metformin before you go to the go to the restaurant or whatever. For me, pregame is a couple of different things. So now I absolutely love. I have if you want, I'll put another link below. A cinnamon chocolate pudding that I use to help drive down my blood sugar. Okay. At the same time, it lines my stomach with a bunch of cinnamon. Obviously, not a lot of hard work eating cinnamon chocolate pudding, right? So I'll go ahead and put that in my system. Not only am I taking up just a little bit of space, right? Because obviously, I don't know what I'm up against. So that way I don't have to completely walk in there super hungry, right? So not only can I stop myself from walking in that place hungry, which normally causes me to like slip or be a little human once in a while, right? At the same time, I'm playing smarter defense with the pregame by eating some of these foods that help me drive down my blood sugar. One of them is going to be, the cinnamon chocolate, pudding. I'll put a link for that below. And also the other one is going to be the miracle dressing, which every single ingredient helps type 2 diabetics lower and control their blood sugar. Not only will I put a link for that in there, in that video, you'll actually see all the case study information, with all the different ingredients and just how powerful they are. And yeah, again, all that stuff is absolutely free. Okay, so that's going to be tip number 3 is the pregame. Okay, the pregame. And then tip number 4 is going to be isolate the favorites. Okay, isolate your favorites. And here's what I mean by that. Okay, so I was in this, I'm in this Facebook group, and this lady was talking about how she went out with her friends and she wanted to have low carb pizza or like keto pizza or cauliflower pizza or whatever. Okay, just to find out that like what the person made for her completely backfired on her and it just didn't work out. Okay, so when I say go and isolate the favorites, okay, so for example, one of my favorites is Supreme Pizza. Okay, but we all know Supreme Pizza. Obviously all the bread and all that stuff I can't necessarily have. So what do? I'll go ahead and have a really easy one. For example, is at like an Italian restaurant, because people are like, man, you can't control your blood sugar at an Italian restaurant. That's just not going to work, right? We'll give you a perfect example. Okay, so all I do is I isolate the favorites. So when I know that I like all these different toppings that come on a Supreme Pizza, okay, I'll basically just get a pesto, okay, an antipasta salad, right, with a pesto sauce, right? They're normally going to put, the cold cuts, the salami on there anyway, and I'll just get my favorite pizza toppings on top of that. I'll get the mozzarella. I'll get the pepperoni. Give me some olives. Go ahead and give me some, some sausage. Bingo, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to stuff my face, okay? Like, no worries whatsoever, okay? Like, no big deal at all. And then obviously tip number 5 is going to be one of the easiest ever, if not already really, apparent, which is going to be go low carb, okay? Like, go low carb, because naturally, obviously there's a lot of different eating styles out there. There's vegan and stuff like that. At the same time, like, going to like going to a lot of these restaurants and eating that particular way, nothing wrong, with vegan eating. I have a lot of friends and family that do that stuff. However, it can be really challenging, okay? Very, very challenging. And so, yeah, if that's your gig, hey, that's your cool. But at the same time, the way that I make it super, super easy is by going low carb. And really, when I understand that I can actually have like more calories, which, more calories in a social setting means that you can eat more and relax more and be a little bit more of yourself. Well, that much easier to do. So anyways, I absolutely hope that serves you well. Again, if you want more tips like this, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon. And then that way, you can get, notifications whenever I release videos just like this, in the hopes they serve you and really, more than anything, make your transformation and really make your journey with type 2 just as simple as that. So my heart's with you. And yeah, I'll absolutely see you in the next one. Later.